Singapore Changi Airport. Addis information Bravo. Time 1336 Zulu. Wind 120 at 10. Visibility 21. Temperature 29. Dew point 23. QNH 1011. Remarks: no light aircraft accepted at this time. Use of departure and arrival procedures recommended. Landing runway 20 right. Expect ILS approach. Departing runway 20 center. Advise on initial contact. You have information Bravo. Longship 0010, runway 20 center, taxi via Victor, contact tower when ready. Taxiing to runway 20 center via Victor, Longship 0010. Singapore Changi ground, Singapore 366 heavy, ready to taxi to runway 20 center with information Bravo. Singapore 366 heavy, runway 20 center, taxi via Victor, contact tower when ready. Singapore Changi ground, Oscar Kilo Alpha Victor Sierra Kilo Yankee, ready for pushback with information Bravo. Oscar Kilo Alpha Victor Sierra Kilo Yankee, pushback approved. Pushback approved, tail to the west, Oscar Kilo Alpha Victor Sierra Kilo Yankee. Singapore Changi ground, Singapore 935 heavy, request taxi to B9 at the other terminals. Singapore Changi ground, Qantas 197, ready for pushback with information Bravo. Singapore 935 heavy, taxi to B9 via Whiskey. Taxiing to B9 via Whiskey, Singapore 935 heavy. Qantas 197, pushback approved, tail to the south. Pushback approved, tail to the south, Qantas 197. Singapore Changi ground, Lufthansa 781, ready for pushback with information Bravo, requesting runway 20 center. Lufthansa 781, pushback approved, tail to the south. Pushback approved, tail to the south, Lufthansa 781. Singapore Changi ground, Qatari 2008 Super, request taxi to A5 at the other terminals. Attention all aircraft, ATIS information Charlie is now current. Qatari 2008 Super, taxi to A5 via Victor. Taxiing to A5 via Victor, Qatari 2008 Super. Singapore Changi ground, Air China 667, ready for pushback with information Charlie. Air China 667, pushback approved, tail to the north. Pushback approved, tail to the north. Singapore Changi ground, Oscar Kilo Alpha Victor Sierra Kilo Yankee, ready to taxi with information Bravo. Oscar Kilo Alpha Victor Sierra Kilo Yankee, taxiing to runway 20 center via Oscar Kilo Alpha Victor Sierra Kilo Yankee. Singapore 687 heavy, give way to aircraft on your right. Singapore Changi ground, Singapore 69 Papa heavy, ready for pushback with information Charlie. Singapore Changi ground, Qantas 197, ready to taxi with information Charlie. Cathay 001, give way to aircraft on your right. Singapore 687 Heavy, please check the user guide from the home screen for help using ATC instructions. Qantas 197, runway 20 center, taxi via contact tower when ready. Oscar Kilo Alpha Victor Sierra Kilo Yankee, continue taxi. Continue taxi, Oscar Kilo Alpha Victor Sierra Kilo Yankee. Lufthansa 781, runway 20 center, taxi via contact tower when ready. Qantas 72, hold position. Taxiing to runway 20 center via Lufthansa 781. Holding position, Qantas 72. Singapore 69 Papa Papa Heavy, taxi to waypoint via Singapore Changi Ground, Air China 667, ready to taxi with information Charlie. Taxiing to waypoint via Singapore 69 Papa Papa Heavy. Air China 667, runway 20 center, taxi via contact tower when ready. Taxiing to runway 20 center via Air China 667. India 2 Charlie Uniform Charlie 1, contact Singapore Changi Tower on 118.6. Singapore Changi Ground, Alpha 6 Hotel India Sierra Heavy, request taxi to parking. Alpha 6 Hotel India Sierra Heavy, taxi to parking, at your discretion. Taxi to parking, Alpha 6 Hotel India Sierra Heavy. Lufthansa 781, you were already instructed to change frequency. Pushback approved, tail to the south, Singapore 865 Heavy. Lufthansa 781, contact Singapore Changi Tower on 118.6. Contacting Singapore Changi Tower on 118.6, Lufthansa. Express India 176, pushback approved, tail to the north. Singapore Changi Ground, Singapore 102 Lima Sierra, ready for pushback with information Bravo. Pushback approved, tail to the north, Express India 176.